In the summer of 2015, a short interview clip exploded across the internet. A reporter asked a simple question: Are your parents white? The woman standing in front of him paused, her eyes shifted, and then she quietly said, I refuse. Moments later, she walked away. Within hours, that clip was everywhere because the woman being questioned wasn't just anyone. She was Rachel Dolezal, the president of the Spokane chapter of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, commonly known as the NAACP. And the question shaking the country was Rachel Dolezal actually black, or had she been living a lie? What followed was one of the strangest identity controversies in modern American history. A story about race, identity, family, conflict, and the question that divided the nation: can someone choose their race? This story begins far before the headlines even became popular. Rachel Ann Dolezal was born November 12, 1977, in rural Montana, specifically in Lincoln County, Montana, a quite heavily wooded region near the Canadian border. Her parents, Larry and Ruth Ann Dolezal, were white Americans of European ancestry. Rachel grew up in a strict religious household. The family lived in a small town of Troy, Montana, where life revolved around church, homeschooling, and just traditional Christian values. Rachel was actually homeschooled through a Christian education program, and she graduated with top grades. She was super artistic, talented, and creative. Even as a teenager, she showed a deep fascination with the African American culture and their history. Her artwork often portrayed Black figures and civil rights themes, but Rachel's childhood was also surrounded by controversy. She later claimed her parents was abusive and extremely strict. Her parents strongly denied those claims. Family members would later publicly contradict each other, creating a picture of a deeply fractured family. And there was something else unusual about Rachel as well. Her family adopted several Black children and one Haitian child. Rachel grew up with Black siblings in a mostly white Montana town. This experience, Rachel would later say, shaped her identity. But critics would argue something very different. After graduating high school, Rachel moved across the country to attend Belhaven University. It was her first major step away from her hometown, Montana. But the biggest change came after that. She actually enrolled in Howard University, which is known to be BCU. Howard is one of the most prestigious historically Black universities in the United States. Here, Rachel studied art. She earned a Master of Fine Arts degree and graduated with high honors. Her artwork continued focusing heavily on the American themes, which involved mostly Black Americans. One series of painting was even presented from the perspective of a Black man. But during her time at Howard, Rachel filed a lawsuit that surprised many people. She sued the university, and her claim? She alleged racial discrimination against herself because she was white. The lawsuit argued that scholarships and opportunities had been denied to her in favor of Black students. The case failed, but the moment revealed something important. Rachel was deeply engaged with issues of race, identity, and inequality. And after leaving Howard, those themes would become the center of her life. In the late 2000s, Rachel began building a career in civil rights activism. She moved to the Pacific Northwest, first in Coeur d'Alene in Idaho and later in Spokane, Washington. She worked with the Human Rights Education Institute. Then she began teaching courses about African American history and culture at Eastern Washington University. Students knew her as an expert in Africana studies, but around this time, people noticed something changing. Rachel's appearance began to transform. her hair, her skin tone, her style. And photos from earlier years showed a woman with pale skin, blue eyes, and straight blonde hair. But by the early 2010s, Rachel appeared very differently, guys. Her skin appeared darker, her hair was styled in natural curls or braids, and she began presenting herself publicly as a black woman. According to family members, Rachel asked them to not reveal her background. Her brother later said she told him, "Don't blow my cover." Despite the questions about her identity, Rachel's activism earned recognition. In 2014, she became president of the Spokane chapter of the NAACP. It was a major leadership role in one of the most historic civil rights organizations in America. She also served as chair of the city's police ombudsman commission. And Rachel organized protests. She spoke at events. She marched during Martin Luther King Day celebration. Her colleagues said she worked tirelessly for racial injustice. Many people respected her dedication, but behind the scenes, rumors were starting. Something about Rachel's story just didn't add up. And then a reporter started asking questions. In June 2015, a reporter from KXLY TV confronted Rachel during an interview. He had discovered a Facebook post where Rachel identified a black man as her father. So he asked a simple question: "Is that your dad?" Rachel, she actually said yes. Then the reporter asked, "Are your parents white?" Rachel froze. I don't understand the question," she said. The reporter pressed again, and that's when Rachel said the words that went viral: "I refuse."
Is that your dad?
Yeah, that's my dad.
This man right here is your father? Right there?
You have a question about that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I was wondering if your dad really is an African American man.
That's a very, I don't know what you're implying.
Are you African American?
I don't understand the question of, I did tell you that yes, that's my dad. And he was unable to come in January.
Are your parents, are they white?
She removed her microphone and she walked away. Within days, reporters tracked down Rachel's parents. They revealed photos of Rachel as a child, pale, blonde, unmistakably white. They also showed her birth certificate. It actually confirmed the truth. Rachel Dolezal had been born to white parents. Her whole life has been a lie. The story spread instantly. Major outlets like the New York Times, CNN, and NBC covered it. Headlines everywhere asked the same question: did an NAACP leader pretend to be black? The reaction was explosive, as you can imagine. Some people were outraged. They said Rachel had committed cultural appropriation and deception. But others defended her. They argued that identity can be complex. Some supporters even said what mattered most was her hard work for civil rights. But the pressure became overwhelming. Within days, Rachel resigned from the NAACP. She lost her university teaching job that she loved so much. The Spokane City Council, they removed her from her government position. Her career collapsed almost overnight. But Rachel, she didn't disappear. Instead, she went on national TV. In an interview on the Today, she made a surprising statement. She actually admitted she was biologically white, but she insisted she identified as black. She argued race is a social construct, and she said she had always felt that whiteness didn't reflect who she truly felt like she was. Her explanation shocked many people. Critics compared her actions to historical blackface. Others debated whether racial identity could be fluid. And for months, Rachel dominated national conversations. After the controversy, she actually struggled to find work. And in 2016, she legally changed her name to Nkechi Amir Diallo. She said the change would help her move forward. She also released a memoir titled In Full Color, Finding My Place in a Black and White World. The book attempted to explain her identity and her life story, but financially things were different. At one point, Rachel said she was close to homelessness and she was